For years, I've been chasing the idea of the perfect ghost computer, a system built to leave as little trace behind as possible. The projects you're seeing in the background were those earlier attempts, and each one taught me something different about privacy, hardware, and what it really means to disappear digitally. My latest build takes those same principles and adds another layer: removable, easy access RAM, a key to access the system, and a virtual environment designed to run without permanently storing your data. This project runs on a single board computer, and this might be the most cost-effective burner computer setup I've built so far. In this video, we're going to explore how it works, experiment with emergency burn methods, and push the limits on how private this system can actually be.
This video is for educational purposes only. This is a privacy project built to explore hardware security, digital freedom, and responsible cybersecurity research.
This is my latest and greatest ghost computer build.
Safety is an illusion.
This takes everything I've learned in the last couple years and puts it in a clean setup. Before, I would build these things out of old laptops, spare parts, garage sale finds, and sometimes stuff pulled from the trash. Even getting parts secondhand doesn't guarantee you privacy. This time I went with a different approach. I wanted a more out-of-the-box experience, as well as something a little bit more accessible to everyone. This time I went with ZimaBlade. I chose ZimaBlade because it runs on x86 architecture, which means I can run full-blown operating systems on this, like Tails Linux, Kali Linux, Parrot Security, Windows. I can run all of that on this single board computer. Now, if you know what a Raspberry Pi 5 is, that's also a single board computer, but that runs on ARM architecture, which means I'm limited to what operating systems that I can use. And in the past, that was a bottleneck for me. Now, the other reason why I like this single board computer so much is that it doesn't come with Wi-Fi, doesn't come with Bluetooth, doesn't come with a camera, doesn't come with a microphone, and doesn't come with speakers. All of those things I usually rip out of my computers when I'm building these builds. Also, the Zima board makes it super easy to remove and swap out the RAM. While other single board computers have the RAM already soldered onto the board, this one I can pop it out, throw it away, change it, swap it. I have that flexibility with the ZimaBlade. That's important because all my builds revolve around Tails Linux, because it's a bootable operating system that only lives inside the RAM and that temporary memory. So if I can take that temporary memory with me, as well as the key to access all that, then all that's left behind is just a shell of a computer. So that's it for the explanation. So let me go ahead and walk through how I built this thing. All right, so let's go over the setup here. So we have the Tails operating system. Now this is on a bootable flash drive that's in the shape of a key. We have the ZimaBlade. I have the case taken off. This way I can access the RAM quite easily. We have a USB hub. We have a laptop stand, which I have a monitor mounted to, keyboard and mouse, and behind the stand is mounted a Wi-Fi adapter. This is one of the alpha ones, but mostly I'm using this just so I can access the internet, the dark web, and do what I need to do. With that said, that's the setup here. Now, the right way to do this, I'm going to give you a demonstration in a minute. I just wanted to show you the brief overview of what it is. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of me coming up to the computer, using it for something, and then shutting it down properly. Because the right way to do it is by shutting it down, and then it's going to rewrite over any of the memory to kind of like erase it itself. It's called amnesia and Tails. And then once it does that, I'm going to remove the RAM and then take whatever data that's on there, if anything, even if it's corrupted or whatever, I'm going to take it with me no matter what. So I'm not a victim of cold boot attacks. I'm going to hold the RAM, I'm going to hold the bootable drive, the key to access everything. The only thing that's going to be left here is the shell of the computer itself. Now I want to show you the walkthrough and how it actually runs. So here is the bootable flash drive. This has Tails Linux on it. I'm going to be putting it into the USB hub. Now I'm going to be putting the RAM in the ZimaBlade. So I have it hidden in this little case here, so it's like it's carrying gum, but inside I'm hiding the RAM stick. You'll see me take it out in a moment. Then I'm going to insert the RAM into the ZimaBlade, plug it in, and then boot it up. As you see here, I'm plugging in the RAM stick, and then you're going to let it boot up, and then you're going to notice that it's going to be booting into Tails. Now I choose Tails because, again, this runs in the temporary memory. Nothing's being saved. Everything is being done between the RAM and the bootable flash drive. That's what's running this operating system. Now, I'm using Tails because it has a lot of dark web tools built into it, like Onion Share. So let's pretend that I used Onion Share. Now I'm done. Now I need to shut down the computer. Now, to take advantage of a feature called Amnesia, you need to shut down Tails properly. Now, once it fully shuts down, you can remove the bootable flash drive and then remove the RAM and then take it with you. Now, another cool thing about this project is you don't have to run it this way. If you're not that crazy about ghost computers, but you want something cool and portable, you can put any operating system on this thing. Now, you're seeing Kali Linux right now because I have it installed on a hard drive that I can plug into the ZimaBlade and then unplug it when I don't want to use it. I can still leave the whole computer set up in one area and just carry around the hard drive. And then when I want to use it, I just go to whatever location I have that has these ghost skeleton computer set up, plug in the hard drive, and then boot whatever operating system that I want to play with. It's a really good computer to mess around with and use for pen testing. But all in all, this is a very flexible build. This single board computer is very flexible and you can do a lot with it. Now, let's talk about the burner method. So I have a couple of methods here. So if you're really worried about privacy, you can destroy the RAM stick every single time you use the computer, kind of like a one-use use. You can leave all the rest of the hardware because everything's being done again in the temporary memory and that USB flash drive. So the only things that you would have to burn would be those two items. Now you could take this step even further by using a tool called a USB kill V4. Now this is a flash drive that sends a devastating shock and it completely burns the device. Now in the background, you're seeing a flashing light. That's the device trying to attack the computer. I have a blocker on it right now, but I'm going to remove that blocker and actually attack the device. And just like that, the USB Kill V4 has claimed another victim in my studio. The whole point of using that tool is to make the computer unusable and unable to retrieve data. Now, it does seem wasteful, and I do not like e-waste. That's why anytime I kill a computer on my YouTube channel, I end up turning it into some type of art project, and maybe I'll sell it or something. I'm not sure, but that's what I like to do. I don't like making e-waste. That's why I rarely use the USB Kill V4, but we haven't used it in a very long time. And I like showing you the dangers of tools like this. And the tool can also be used to help protect your privacy. And that's pretty much it for the demonstration and walkthrough of the Ghost computer. Now, before we end the video, I want to go over some disclaimers as well as some things to watch out for when you're building your Ghost computers. And understand, building a Ghost computer is close to impossible in this modern day age. Before we continue, I want to be very clear. This project is not for malicious use at all. This is not about hiding from consequences or doing anything illegal. This is about showing how hard it actually is to be private in today's world. A true ghost computer is almost impossible because almost everything leaves some kind of trace. Your network leaves traces. Your ISP can see connection metadata. VPNs and proxies only move trust somewhere else. Tor can protect what you visit, but your ISP may still see that Tor is being used. Wi-Fi cards and Bluetooth radios can identify devices. Microphones and cameras can be abused or falsely trusted. Speakers can sometimes be used like microphones. Storage can leave behind logs, cache, metadata, and deleted file remnants. Your browser can fingerprint you. Your accounts can identify you. Your writing style, typing habits, and behavior can identify you. Even buying parts can leave a trail through cameras, payments, shipping records, phone location data, or someone simply remembering you. That is why a lot of privacy tools give people a false sense of security. They make you feel invisible, but most of the time, you are only reducing the trail, not deleting it. In the future, I want to push this even further with virtual computers and thin clients, where the actual hardware is not at your location. Instead, you connect to a remote virtual machine that can be deleted and recreated. But even that is not perfect because cloud systems, remote servers, and network connections still create logs and metadata. So this project is not about becoming invisible. It is about understanding the surveillance state we already live in, reducing what you expose, going back to local systems when possible, disconnecting more, and learning how to stop playing the game. And a ghost computer won't make you invisible. It only reminds you how visible you already are. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this build. If you want to support future projects, consider becoming a channel member. If you're interested in the ZimaBlade, use code GhostStrats on their website to save $15. I recommend the kit because it includes the power adapter and RAM stick, but you can also buy just the board if that's all you need. At the time of recording, the kit is around $120, and the board is around $70 before the discount. I'm excited to keep working with Zima and use this hardware for future projects like cyberdecks, remote computers, and even a cloud gaming console experiment. But the main point of this video is simple. This was never about becoming invisible. It was about showing how hard it truly is to disappear. Because in a world where every device, every network, and every account leaves a trace, privacy is no longer the default. It is something you have to fight for, build around, and protect. So stay aware, stay intentional, and remember, safety is an illusion.